figured like capitalism works. Like if you pay at or above market, your employees are going to be in good shape. And what I found is that's not the case. For many of our entry-level employees, for our call center employees, their NDI, net disposable income, was 4 to 6%. So they were right at the edge, like a car breaking down, a medical expense, et cetera, would send them over the edge. Today, we're at 16% minimum. So we've gone from 4 to 6 to 16%. Next year, we'll get to 20%. The reactions and the heartfelt emotion that poured out as a result of that, and the reduction in absenteeism, the reduction in attrition, the degree of passion in serving customers, I am 100% sure that over even the short term to medium term, that investment in our employees will pay back multiple fold to our customers and eventually to our shareholders. One study after another has shown that the more diverse an organization is, the stronger that organization is and the better it performs. If inclusion is one of your key competitive assets, not just a value, but a competitive asset, and you don't pay people the same amount, like, what are you saying? What you're basically saying is you don't respect their work as much as somebody else's. That's why I couldn't wait to talk, at this event, because I know, the values of people here and what they're trying to accomplish. And we should just all hang together, do the things we can do together, keep pushing, and we will make a difference in the world. I'm confident of that. The most important thing that I think I do is I keep our mission front and center. What are we really trying to accomplish as a company? How can we really make a difference? And then I act on the values that support that mission. And those values um, in a culturally charged environment that we all live in are not always easy to live up to stand up to. Having these values front and center, treating everybody with respect, putting a multi-constituent lens on everything we do, I think enables me to be the leader that I want to be.
What we know from a lot of research is that people who grow up in multicultural, multi-ethnic, diverse environments often they're more dexterity, they have more dexterity, adaptability, but also they're often less afraid of what we might call the other.
These are just the ways that I grew up, and I just kind of understood that fighting for economic equality, fighting for social justice was something that may be difficult to do, and it is hard to go do, but we must do it. We all live in the same community together. This is our neighborhoods, our companies, our economy, our country. And we are a very divided country. There's no question about it. There are a lot of cultural wars, but that doesn't absolve us from taking values-based stance and doing our part to try and help. Well, you can solve that over a couple of years so that, our earnings aren't impacted by it. And I said, let's try and solve it next week if we can, because my whole thought process was the only sustainable competitive advantage that any company has is the depth of talent that they have in their company and the depth of passion that that talent has. It's a win-win-win, and that is how I like to design products, where social purpose is part and parcel of what we are offering into the market. What, as a CEO, do you need to do to create competitive advantage and win in the marketplace over the long term? And here's the great news. They actually go completely hand in hand. And technology ought to be able to lower the basic cost of financial services dramatically. It ought to make it safer, faster, more secure, easier to understand, and less expensive. Basic everyday transactions. And if we can do that, we can help to drive financial health. And if you drive financial health, that helps bring citizens into the world. Most governments care about their citizens. It may be because they care about, them being happy and content, and others truly want them to move in different directions and have certain values. But if we can help in some way create financial health around the world so that people struggle less, then I think people have the ability to listen more, think about others, and I think that can only lead to a more peaceful world, and one in which we maybe understand each other more than less. Today, more than 2 billion people are outside the financial system across the world. As I mentioned, even in developing countries like the US, 2/3 of the population struggling. So this is a universal problem. Technology is one part of it, but I think it is an important part of it in terms of trying to create both inclusion and financial health, which I think are part of the foundations of healthy societies and healthy political systems as well.